It's Let's Keep It Real with AM. Let's go. Real talk, raw facts, we don't move slow. She cut through the drama like a blade to the noise. Southern Belle with the truth, don't play with the voice. Ay, let's keep it real with AM. Let's go. Real talk, raw facts, we don't move slow. She cut through the drama like a blade to the noise. Southern Belle with the truth, don't play with the voice. We talk fake friends, side dudes, heartbreak too. Baby mamas, baby daddies, nothing off the menu. She ain't scared to speak it, now she built for the flame. Say your name without say your name, if it's smoke, it's the same. Energy loud, tea stay hot. Truth hit different when it land on the spot. So fix your face, don't flinch, don't scam. It's the queen of real talk, yeah, that's AM. Let's keep it real with AM. Let's go. Real talk, raw facts, we don't move slow. She cut through the drama like a blade to the noise. Southern Belle with the truth, don't play with the voice. Ay, let's keep it real with AM. Let's go. Real talk, raw facts, we don't move slow. She cut through the drama like a blade to the noise. Southern Belle with the truth, don't play with the voice.
You back your moderating thing. You earned that, my boy. You done stuck around, and I'm finna give it back to you. Hold on.
I don't know. What? A large pizza can feed a family.
Bigo, bigo.
All right. Don't you do him like that. It's a copyright disclaimer under the Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Sparkle, if you don't stop. Okay. So we finna talk about don't pay her no attention. Don't pay her no. You've been holding it down, Terry. You ain't been holding it down. Okay, so as y'all know, some other stuff has been released with the Jeff Epstein situation. Y'all know who Jeff is. He ran a sex trafficking cult, if you want to call it, or whatever, in the United States, Virgin Islands, just like kind of like all over. Anywho, so let me tell you, because I did take notes this time. So if it sounds like I'm reading, oh well, but I did take notes. Oh, Trump. Oh, girl, don't you do Terry. I thought you were talking about Terry. I'm sorry, Terry. You done probably ran Terry up out of here. So, okay. So number one, the U.S. Department of Justice released over 11,000 new documents and photos of Jeffrey Epstein case, a part of a large ongoing disclosure under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, and many of those files include references to Donald Trump. So then number two, y'all, I got this written down in notes. Number two, so Trump flew on Epstein's private jet more often than previously known. I don't know if a lot of y'all knew that, but newly released documents, I also put this in my video, but a lot of y'all did not view it, but newly released documents show Trump flew on Epstein's private jet at least 8 times in the 1990s, more than was previously publicly known. Some flights included Epstein associate Now, who is Ghislaine? I'm not familiar with that one. Maxwell, though, none of this is evidence of criminal conduct. Why haven't I heard of this Ghislaine? What is it? Ghislaine? Maxwell? Okay, so DOJ says some claims about Trump in the files are false. Hey, Bree. The Justice Department has publicly stated that some materials in release files contain untrue and sensational claims about Trump, and such claims are unfounded and false. So we got to determine which is true and which is false. A letter that appeared in the documents allegedly from Epstein to Larry Nassar referencing Trump has been confirmed as a fake by DOJ and FBI. No criminal charges against Trump. Trump has not been accused of any criminal wrongdoing in connection with Jeffrey Epstein or his crimes. This is so crazy that our Trump, God damn it, I meant that our president of the United States, where is Miss Ashley at? I ain't seen her all day. There she go. Hey, Ashley. That our President Trump is in the mix of Jeff Epstein and still able to run as a president. Now, if that was Obama in the mix of this mess, they would have had the vice president running it until the investigation is over with. Do y'all not think so? Thuggin said, hey, Thuggin said Trump going down. Okay. So it says Trump has not been accused of any criminal wrongdoing in connection with Jeffrey Epstein or his crimes mentioned in court files. Hold on, y'all. All right. So hold on, let me see. Mentions court files, photos, or flight logs do not imply guilt or legal charges. Y'all do anything to try to save Trump's ass. Then these releases are happening because of the Epstein's Files Transparency Act, a law passed and signed by Trump in November of 2025 that requires the DOJ to make unclassified Epstein's related files public. Trump's response: Trump has de-announced the release. Y'all, I don't know. This shit is funny. Trump has de-announced the release of photos and documents in distraction and has denied knowing about Epstein's crimes. He also has defended others mentioned in the files, like Bill Clinton, while saying many people innocently met Epstein. I bet you are. I bet it's Trump for me, y'all. Let me let Melisha grab the link. Because y'all know she know about this stuff, but it's Trump for me, y'all. Okay, so let me see. I got a little piece of something. So let's see what we got. Well, I guess I can't. Oh. All right, hold on. Let me do this another way. Somebody said, who hit my poll and said he is? Hey, Penny J. Who hit my poll and said Trump is innocent? Y'all know y'all ain't shit. Who did that? Who's a Trump supporter in here? Hey, real talk vibes. Hold on, y'all. I'm finna show y'all. Just hold on 1 second. We finna break these files down. Then I gotta come back and go live because I just got some goose. Ooh, baby, juicy, 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 juicy. Now, y'all, I ain't gonna be able to read this. I'm in a season of. Hold on, y'all. Okay. I'm in a season of. Okay, let's see if I can get it now. Read some of this. Hey, spicy, spicy, spicy. Oh, baby. Who can read? Y'all can read this for me. Because I can't see what it's saying, y'all. This some Lola, you got your glasses on because I can't see, girl. Lola, can you read that? Yes, they are. Hey, Tissa. Yes, they are. But why did he in jail? I ain't fucking studying these folks. All right. So, hold on, y'all. I'm going to see if I can't read it. Zoom in on this stuff. Anybody got their glasses and can read that? Okay, so it's saying this was dated 10/7/2020. It's unclassified. It says asked about his time. I guess this is about Donald Trump. Asked about his time driving in a limousine for 2 years in Dallas Fort Worth area. During the time as a driver, he had met. Oh no, I don't know who this is about, but he had met Donald Trump. Noted he picked the president up in 1995 and took him to the DFW airport. Reported some of the things President Trump has spoken about during the ride while on his cell phone. Well, on his cell phone were very concerning. And then it says median and within a few seconds pulling him out of his car and hurting him due to some of the things he was saying. As caller chose not, and they won't not to, and it says noted Trump continuously stated the name Jeffrey while on the phone and made references to abusing some girl. I don't know who this is, but was unsure who he was talking to nor who he was referencing. As he talked about his time meeting Donald Trump, immediately demeanor went stone cold as stated, he raped me, said, grape me, I meant, y'all. Ain't it? Girl, that stuff can't, I'm trying to make it. Okay. He said he raped me along with Jeffrey Epstein, noted. Some girl with a funny name. So this is a young girl that said that allegedly Donald J. Trump raped her, took me into a fancy hotel or a building. That's how it happened. Advised to call the police regarding the incident as stated, I can't, they will kill me on Christmas Day. Contacted and stated she had in fact called the police about what they had talked about. And then these names are blanked out, so we don't know who they blanking out the names. It says told she had done good, did what, did not hear from or until 1/10/2000. Reached out, stayed and was dead and noted she was found with her head blown off in Kiefer. So they was actually taking people out that was calling themselves That was, I'm laughing at Lola talking about heck no, but that was calling their cells telling. They was having them unalive. So they were allowed to, in other words, they were allowed to get abused, used and abused, raped, excuse me, all of those words done to them. And if they were to tell, that would possibly cost them their lives. Okay. So let's see. Reached out standing Kiefer on the scene stated there was no way it was they tried to say it was a suicide attempt. Corner stated it was a suicide. Later stated committed suicide because had gotten cocaine from a Mexican drug cartel. Feels that the murder is a cover up for Ghislaine. The last contact with whoever that was after posted this information on Facebook a couple of weeks ago. Prior called yelling that he had put the family in danger. Explained that the third daughter named blank date of birth. So, hey, Dominica. During the report, he mentioned John Doe number 2 was actually John Doe number 1. Date of birth was actually W. Nicholas, date of birth such and such, who tried to originally set up for bombing the Oklahoma City school. Nicholas worked as security guard for Bill and Hillary Clinton. As set a place where Nicholas worked the security guard at the door. Hillary walked up to a drunk, began yelling, and they asked to leave. I don't know. This is a lot. Let me see. It says 10/7/23 p.m. The birth of cellular telephone number called FBI National. I can't. This stuff is so light. I cannot understand who in the world can read this stuff. Mm-mm. I can't even read this stuff, y'all. This man, hold up. Let me get something else because I can't even read this stuff. Oh, yeah.
We are following breaking news at this hour about the batch of Epstein files released by the Justice Department earlier today. There are thousands of documents that our CBS News team is combing through. In the release, photos of Bill Clinton, and some of them show him together with Epstein. Another shows Clinton in a hot tub with another person whose face is not shown. This is just a small selection of photos included in this vast trove of records like printed documents, transcripts, photos, audio recordings, and video. We have team coverage on this with CBS legal reporter Katrina Kaufman and CBS News reporter Erica Brown. Let's begin with Erica. So, Erica, we've only had these documents for a few hours. So what are we seeing in the early stages?
Well, Juliet, in this early tranche, of documents released by the Justice Department, we see materials in the form of videos, as you noted there, recordings, transcripts, even court records, some of those records dating back more than a decade and were related to multiple investigations into convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and related to multiple agencies, including the FBI and the Bureau of Prisons. This initial release also includes disclosures from the Department of Justice and from the House Oversight Committee, but some of this material was already in the public domain, and that is
Hey, Miss
sparking some
Love.
backlash, particularly from Democratic lawmakers. Some of that material already out there included a surveillance video of the Manhattan jail where Epstein was found dead, and earlier testimony from Ghislaine Maxwell. Also, some of that material was very heavily redacted, which some lawmakers say was much heavier redacted than anticipated, which is also sparking some backlash. But as you noted, there are a few materials that were released that are new, including photos of former President Bill Clinton, photographed with Epstein, photographed in a pool, photographed in a hot tub with an unidentified person, as well as photos of ex-Prince Andrew photographed with women, and testimony from someone who suggested that supermodel Naomi Campbell had visited the Virgin Islands with an Epstein associate. Now, Campbell has previously denied any wrongdoing and any connection to Epstein's crimes. Juliet?
All right, Erica Brown. Erica, thank you. I want to bring in CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman. We've been talking about a lot of redactions in these files. So what are we learning about the process behind this release?
So Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche released a letter. In it, he said that there is a team of 200 attorneys who are poring over these files. And he said of them, there are 25 who are dedicated to ensuring that victims' personal information is being redacted. You know, the way that we're supposed to know why these redactions are happening is they are supposed to provide a written explanation.
Yeah, I'm upset about that, Miss Love.
Bill
was
so as of now, we don't exactly know what the decision-making process.
Bill was there, Chris Tucker was there. My mama always told me old white men is just some freaks, man, and they sick. Shit.
This is behind each of these. It is supposed to be to protect the victims, though.
There is a mountain of material. I know that you've been sifting through the material. What stands out to you so far?
That's right. We are going through these thousands of pages. One thing that stood out was it was a report from the FBI in Miami. And in it, the person who filed the complaint talks about how Epstein stole photos she had taken, she's a professional artist, of her 12 and 16-year-old sisters, so that she believed that Epstein sold those photos. She also said that Epstein one time requested that she take pictures of young girls at swimming pools, and that he's now threatening, this redacted name, that if she tells anyone about the photos, he will burn her house down. There's also a lot of imagery here. There are many photos. You showed that picture of Bill Clinton in a hot tub. There's one of Prince Andrew lying across, it looks like the laps of women. Ghislaine Maxwell is also in the photo. There is a notable photo that also appeared of former CBS Evening News anchor Walter Cronkite with Jeffrey Epstein and another man. It looks like it's from about 2007, so it is also worth noting that he was about 90 years old at that time. But we are continuing to go through all of this and pick out the information that we really think the public should learn about and see what's new here, because we're really still figuring that out.
Katrina Kaufman. Katrina, thank you.
Welcome to the NewsHour. The Justice Department released nearly 30,000 more pages of documents related to the late.
See this, y'all? They got our boy Clinton up in there. You feel me? Like this shit is changing on the hour. Like on the hour, it's changing. Like. New people is coming about. Like Clinton's name is ringing. Miss Love said, dang, my boy Clinton. Yes, his name is ringing. And yesterday, honestly, when I was on TikTok, some of y'all wasn't in here, but I'm going to let y'all listen to some of this stuff. When I was on TikTok, you know, some people, Bill Clinton actually called Donald Trump's bluff to release all of it. Hold on, let's see. Wait a minute. Y'all. I just think, wait a minute. Hold up. Did I just see something?
Any support. I am no longer supporting this administration. I redact any support I've ever given to him, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel.
Ooh.
I am so disgusted with this administration. I think that Pam Bondi and Kash Patel both need to resign, and I would love to see number 47 get impeached over this.
I don't like the pictures of Bill Clinton being shown.
Do y'all hear this? Say what? can't believe what I'm hearing.
I am no longer supporting this administration. I redact any support I've ever given to him, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel. I am so disgusted with this administration. I think that Pam Bondi and Kash Patel both need to resign. And I would love to see number 47 get impeached over this.
I don't like the pictures of Bill Clinton being shown. I don't like the pictures of other people being shown. I think it's a terrible thing. A lot of people are very angry that pictures are being released of other people that really had nothing to do with Epstein, but they're in a picture with him because he was at a party, and you ruin the reputation of somebody.
If you're telling the public and the world and the survivors that just because somebody's in a picture with him doesn't automatically mean they were involved in the crimes against children, which I understand, and I get that fully, then why are you so scared to release the files, and why has there been so much resistance? If it's just a picture, why are you going above and beyond to hide the identities of these men? And I do believe, because of all the shame and guilt the survivors have gone through, and the public scrutiny and the backlash that we've received, and the shame and embarrassment that doesn't even belong to us. It belongs to the men that continue to have business and personal relationships with a known pedophile and his accomplice.
So
the embarrassment and shame belongs to them, Trump included.
Ooh, it's like music to my ears.
No, Trump has not been accused of criminal wrongdoing, but as you said, he is named in these files. There are pictures.
I am no longer.
This is now the third batch of documents released by the Department of Justice in about 4 days relating to its investigation into the disgraced financier. And as you say, Donald Trump is mentioned many more times in this drop than in the previous two, including in an email from a top New York prosecutor detailing how Donald Trump flew on Epstein's private jet, quote, many more times than has previously been reported. Now, according to flight records, Mr. Trump was listed as a passenger at least 8 times in the 1990s, including 4 flights on which Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, was also present. And on one flight, it was just Donald Trump and Epstein listed as the only passengers. Now, the Department of Justice has also released a statement to go along with this release of information, saying that these documents contain untrue and sensationalist claims made against President Trump, but it's releasing them in the interest of transparency. Important to note here that Donald Trump has not been accused of any wrongdoing whatsoever. But this latest dump also casts renewed scrutiny on the relationship between Jeffrey Epstein and the former Prince Andrew. We have one email to Ghislaine Maxwell from a person using the email address The Invisible Man, and it refers to being at Balmoral summer camp for the royal family, asking whether Maxwell had found him some new inappropriate friends, and it was signed off with the letter A. Now, Andrew has also strenuously denied any wrongdoing. So, Sally, tens of thousands of documents have been released so far, many thousands more to come, and undoubtedly a lot more questions will be raised. This is now the third batch of documents released by the Department of Justice in about 4 days relating to its
There's a lot of fake content being thrown into the Epstein files to try and distract you from the truth of what's going on. But the letter from Jeffrey Epstein to Larry Nassar, that one's real. The letter was sent sometime in late July or early August before Jeffrey Epstein allegedly killed himself. And the existence of this letter has been reported since 2019, when the Associated Press got a trove of 4,000 documents, either from within Jeffrey Epstein's cell or related to the investigation into the death of Jeffrey Epstein. However, the actual postcard itself was not included in the documents that were turned over to the Associated Press. That is probably because the FBI sent this postcard out for a handwriting analysis to ensure that it was in fact Jeffrey Epstein that sent it to Larry Nassar. Now, if you've never been to jail, you might not know that inmates are not allowed to send mail to other inmates without approval. So the fact that Jeffrey Epstein, a criminally convicted pedophile, was allowed to send a postcard to another criminally convicted pedophile, Larry Nassar, is sort of unusual. And all of the mail that you send in prison is read. So several people would have read this, and they still allowed him to send it. Dear LN, as you know by now, I have taken the short route home, indicating that he took his own life. Good luck. We shared one thing, our love and caring for young ladies, disgusting, and the hope that they'd reach their full potential, vile. Our president also shares our love of young, nubile girls. Okay. When young beauties walked by, he loved to grab snatch, whereas we ended up snatching grub in the mess halls of the system. Life is unfair. I'm sorry, that is just so hard to read out loud. This postcard is incredibly damning. It not only is so salacious in the fact that Jeffrey Epstein is writing to this other very high-profile pedophile who's in prison, but it specifically mentions the president, who at the time was Donald Trump. Also curious here is Jeffrey Epstein had access to a cell phone and was in constant communication with the outside world. He wouldn't have not known that Larry Nassar was actually being held in a Michigan prison. Yet he sent the letter to the prison that Nassar had been held at only for a couple of months in the summer of 2018. Did Jeffrey Epstein write an incriminating letter and intentionally send it to the wrong address, knowing that it would be returned to sender and end up back in his files? And him sending it to Larry Nassar in particular, as opposed to anybody else, would have really stuck out to the press and to the public. A couple questions remain here. What was the result of the FBI handwriting analysis of the letter? Why did Jeffrey Epstein send it to an Arizona prison? Why wasn't it included in the documents that were given to the Associated Press when they were investigating the death of Jeffrey Epstein? And Larry Nassar is still alive. He is serving his sentence at the Coleman, Florida high security federal facility. Also, why is Nassar being held in Florida when he committed his crimes in Texas and Michigan, both of which have federal prisons? There's a lot of fake content being thrown into the Epstein files to try and distract.
Let's go through some of the content that we've been seeing over the course of this morning. We'll start with an email exchange between someone calling themselves the Invisible Man and signing themselves off as that man appears to be Andrew Mountbatten.
Yes, they are.
Come to
You
that
better
conclusion
say it, Sparkle.
From reviewing the email address used, which
Thank
is
you,
assigned to
Teresa.
the Duke of York in Epstein's contacts book and the chain of correspondence. This individual refers to the Royal Navy, RN, and also to Balmoral, and is also named as Andrew in emails. It's a text exchange or an email exchange with Ghislaine Maxwell. And this email reads, Matt, I'm up here at Balmoral summer camp for the royal family. Activities take place all day, and I am totally exhausted at the end of each day. The girls are completely shattered, and I will have to give them an early night today, as it is getting tiring splitting them up all the time. How's LA? Have you found me some new inappropriate friends? Let me know when you're coming over, as I am free from the 25th of August until the 2nd of September and want to go somewhere hot and sunny with some fun people before having to pull my nose firmly to the grindstone for the fall. Any ideas gratefully received. See ya, A. And there are 3 kisses on that. A reply from Ghislaine Maxwell to that email reads, sorry to disappoint you. However, the truth must be told. I have only been able to find appropriate friends. Maxwell adds, we'll let you know about some church meetings on those dates. In turn, the man who we think is Andrew replies that he is distraught before saying that he had lost my valet. He died in his sleep. He had been with me since I was 2, he adds. I'm a little off balance, as not only has my office been restructured, I have left the RN, and now my whole life is in turmoil, as I have no one to look after me. He signs off saying, see you real soon. I hope you are coming over. Remember, Matt, that Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has denied in the past any wrongdoing, has denied the allegations against him. Let's go through some of the content that we've been seeing.
Breaking news. The Justice Department has released 30,000 more pages of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. According to the DOJ, some of these documents contain untrue and sensationalist claims made against.
How do y'all think Hillary is feeling with Clinton coming up in the mix of this?
President Trump that were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election. To be clear, the claims are unfounded and false, and if they had a shred of credibility, they certainly would have been weaponized against President Trump already.
The Epstein files did not come out in full, but they did start with a couple photos. We have a lot to get into with these photos. One of them genuinely broke my heart to see this man on there, but let's start off by saying Bill Clinton is a bad man. Like, he's in every photo all the time. Like with how many photos he's in.
Let's go through.
Breaking news.
Another huge batch of Epstein files to review, many thousands of records and pages, and it's immediately clear this latest batch
these
has an awful lot of
politics,
Trump
man.
data,
These
including
politics.
this
I'm telling you,
January
this shit is
2020 email
serious.
sent by an attorney at the Department of Justice.
These people couldn't watch
to
my dog.
colleague or colleagues.
They might sex my dog, and a girl. These people couldn't watch my dog, my cat, no, none of that.
Says that Trump's in the Epstein flight logs a lot in the mid-1990s, at least 8 times. There's also a copy of a subpoena issued to Mar-a-Lago by the Department of Justice years ago as a component of its investigation into Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's co-conspirator. And there's also a tip submitted to the FBI years ago from some woman who says when she was younger that she was invited to Mar-a-Lago to a party that had prostitutes at it. Now, there's no allegations or indications of any wrongdoing by Trump or by others who are named in so many of these files. But the Department of Justice issued a statement today emphasizing their argument that there are sensationalistic, unfounded claims in this latest set of records against President Trump, and that if those allegations were true, they would have been weaponized against the president years ago. And that statement struck a chord with some people. I've talked to former Department of Justice attorneys who've left the agency this year who say it is quite something to have the department issue a statement in defense of the president, part of a political argument in defense of the president, because the Department of Justice, in its independence, is the people's attorney, not the president's attorney. And they refer us back to last week when the department issued a statement calling themselves, at one point of the statement, the Trump Justice Department. But all of this is becoming, at least evolving into, a story about process as much as the records, how the files are being released. This piecemeal patchwork release is itself becoming an issue for survivors who don't like this system. They think the law, they know the law, required a full release last Friday, but also the haphazard nature of this release is striking them the wrong way and increasingly becoming an emerging story.
Breaking news. The Justice Department has released 30,000 more pages of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. According to the DOJ, some of these documents contain untrue and sensationalist claims made against President Trump that were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election. To be clear, the claims are unfounded and false, and if they had a shred of credibility, they certainly would have been weaponized against President Trump already. Nevertheless, out of our commitment to the law and transparency, the DOJ is releasing these documents with the legally required protections for Epstein's victims. Let's just go over that real quick on that. Preemptively putting out this information this morning, we're still sifting through it, yet trying to color the perception by saying, hey, a lot of this stuff, not true at all. That post from the DOJ also includes a link to the latest batch of files. We're going through them. Here's some of what we can say we have found so far, including what appears to be this handwritten letter purportedly sent from Jeffrey Epstein to convicted sex offender Larry Nassar. The letter, postmarked just days after Epstein died, reads in part this way. Dear LN, as you know by now, I have taken the, quote, short route home. Good luck. We shared one thing, our love and caring for young ladies at the hope they'd reach their full potential. Our president shares our love of young, nubile girls. When a young beauty walked by, he loved to grab snatch, whereas we ended up snatching grub in the mess halls of the system. Life is unfair. Yours, J. Epstein. The letter's envelope is stamped with a date 3 days after his death for reasons unknown. It's also not known whether the letter was ever verified or led to any other action. Breaking news. The Justice Department has released 30,000 more pages of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein.
This shit is getting serious. Do y'all think that Bill Clinton, because he actually calling bluff, he like drop them all. Why? Do y'all think that they didn't know that this man was running a sexual cult or whatever. Like, why is so many people in pictures with him? Why are they on this island with him? Like, why? And y'all don't see the young girls that's there? Like, I have so many questions for these people, y'all, in plenty of damn pictures. Like, it's crazy the money that power has. Oh, Lord Jesus. All right, I'm finna get off because hey, 3G, Merry Christmas, girl. Hey, girl. They all guilty. I know that's right. We got a part 2 coming up at a courtroom, y'all. We finna see something. I'm finna come back. All right. Girl, I was like, did I say that right? The power of money, the money of power, or something. Girl, you know I'm going to say it wrong. Y'all done woke me out today. All right, y'all. I'm finna go. I'm finna come back. Bye, y'all.